Most people we talk to say, don't worry about what you're hearing from these proposals. It is not what the final solution will look like. What do you think will be in these bills once they make their way through Congress?
Yeah, good morning. I think that's exactly right. What is proposed and what will be signed into law will look quite different. Now, that's not to say that taxes aren't going up, because they most likely are, but they're probably going to be more benign in the final form than what has been proposed. We do expect the individual tax rate to go up for the top 1%. We do see the corporate tax rate going up, but probably not to the full 28% like President Biden has proposed, more probably to 24 or 25%. And then capital gains. We do expect some changes there, but again, probably won't be as extreme as what Biden has proposed. Very unlikely to go to parity with that ordinary income tax rate for those making more than $1 million. So bottom line here is, yes, we expect taxes to be going up, but probably going to be more benign and more palatable in their final form.
And Libby, the reason you think that is not because you think the Democrats are going to come to some consensus with Republicans. You think that this is probably because this is the Democrats and their own caucus, what they have to work through?
Yeah, Becky, I think that is something that maybe is not totally appreciated by the financial markets, both in the Senate. And of course, there's a lot of focus on Senator Joe Manchin, but there are lots of other centrist Democrats in the Senate who are a little bit leery of raising taxes, especially in what looks like it's going to be a difficult election cycle for Democrats in 2022. And the same thing for the House. I think as much focus as there is on the Senate and the razor-thin majorities that Democrats have in the Senate, folks have to realize that Democrats right now can only lose 3 votes in the House and still pass legislation. And there is a lot of moderate Democrats in the House that are, again, going to be facing a sort of uphill reelection battle. So I think in the final form, there's going to be pressure from those caucuses to moderate what President Biden has proposed. I think we're also still optimistic that you could get a smaller bipartisan traditional infrastructure bill with Democrats and Republicans working together. That doesn't foreclose that taxes are going up in another legislative proposal, but it probably does sort of push out the timing of that.
Do you think that these moves will be retroactive? Because that may be one of the top questions on a lot of investors' minds at this moment. Is it too late if I wanted to sell stocks and worried about the capital gains rate? Is it too late to do anything about it?
Yeah, no, we do not expect these to be retroactive. There are a lot of reasons why. One is just from an implementation execution perspective, it's really difficult to increase taxes retroactively. So we think that any tax changes that are passed are going to be for the next calendar year. In this case, if they pass in 2021, won't be applicable until 2022. So no, Becky, it's not too late. But again, I think investors, what you're seeing in the markets is that people are just sort of taking a pause and seeing what actually gets written into legislation. And this is something I always remind our clients that, of course, the White House has a very important bully pulpit, but they don't write legislation. And none of this that's been proposed is actually bill text. So I think the market is sort of taking a breather and waiting until they actually get more details around these proposals.
Hey, Libby, let's just play this out and say you're wrong on that. What happens if, A, it happens and it's exactly what the White House is pushing for right now? Somehow they manage to get Manchin and a few of the others and say, you're going to do this. They don't stand up to the pressure because you are talking about a very few number of votes that are going to be the swing here. And let's say they do make it retroactive because they did that under the Clinton administration when they raised taxes.
Yeah, that's right. Back when the last time we really raised taxes in 1993, they were retroactive. But again, I think they, in that process, was exposed a lot of difficulties of doing retroactive tax increases. But yeah, if these are more draconian than what we expect, you're obviously going to see the market move. But Becky, I think a silver lining, if we do see higher taxes and something that's more similar to President Biden's proposal, probably means that it's going to be coupled with more spending as well. I think higher taxes are going to go along with more spending, so that should diffuse some of the market impact as well.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.